Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from 5th chapter, text number 17. Karma Yoga in Krishna Consciousness, Action in Krishna Consciousness. So maybe we can chant word by word and then we can chant the Sanskrit shloka. Tad buddhayaha, tat atmanaha, tat nishtaha, tat parayanaha, gachanti apunaha avritim jnana duta kalmashaha. Tad buddhaya tad atmana, tanishta tad parayanaha, gachanti apunaravritim jnana nirduta kalmashaha. Tad buddhaya tad atmana, tanishta tad parayanaha, gachanti apunaravritim jnana nirduta kalmashaha. Tad buddhaya tad atmana, tad nishta tad parayanaha, gachanti apunaravritim jnana nirduta kalmashaha. Tad buddhaya tad atmana, tanishta tad parayanaha, gachanti apunaravritim jnana nirduta kalmashaha. Daya tad atmana, tanishta tad parayanaha, gachanti apunaravritim jnana nirduta kalmashaha. Tad buddhayaha, those whose intelligence is always in the Supreme. Tad atmanaha, those whose minds are always in the Supreme. Tat nishtaha, those whose faith is only meant for the Supreme. Tat parayanaha, who have completely taken shelter of Him. Gachanti, go, go. Apunaha avritim, to liberation. Jnana, by knowledge. Nirduta, cleansed. Kalmashaha, misgivings. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Srila Prabhupada. When one's intelligence, mind, faith and refuge are all fixed in the Supreme, then one becomes fully cleansed of misgivings through complete knowledge and thus proceeds straight on the path of liberation. Purport. The Supreme Transcendental Truth is Lord Krishna. The whole Bhagavad-Gita centers around the declaration that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the version of all Vedic literature. Parasattva means the Supreme Reality, who is understood by the knowers of the Supreme as Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Bhagavan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the last word in the Absolute. There is nothing more than that. The Lord says, Mataha parataram nanyat kinchit asti dhananjaya. Impersonal Brahman is also supported by Krishna. Brahmano hi pratishtaham. Therefore, in all ways, Krishna is the Supreme Reality. One whose mind, intelligence, faith and refuge are always in Krishna, or in other words, one who is fully in Krishna consciousness, is undoubtedly washed clean of all misgivings and is in perfect knowledge in everything concerning transcendence. A Krishna conscious person can thoroughly understand that there is duality, simultaneous identity and individuality in Krishna. And equipped with such transcendental knowledge, one can make steady progress on the path of liberation. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Sumati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatyati Shadarine Panchakalpatarupyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patithanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langete Girim Yatkrupathamagamande Shri Gurum Dinatarina Jetam Surato Pango Mamamanta Madirkati Matsarvasva Padamboja Radha Madana Mohana Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. When one's intelligence, mind, faith and refuge are all fixed in the Supreme, then one becomes fully cleansed of misgivings through complete knowledge and thus proceeds straight on the path of liberation. Hare Krishna. So here we are reading from 5th chapter, 17th verse, where Krishna is speaking about karma yoga, that is action in Krishna consciousness. In the beginning of this chapter, beginning of the 5th chapter, Arjuna is bewildered. Arjuna is asking Krishna, what should I do? The beginning, you have told me to renounce all work. Now you are saying, do not renounce, now work for me, in devotion to me. Which is better? What should I do? So in reply to that, Krishna says that, definitely, renouncing work is good, but better than renunciation or work is work in devotion. Work for me. This is what Krishna wants. The whole Bhagavad-Gita is meant for that. To work, we cannot stop working. Krishna says a person cannot stop working. He has to work. Some or other, through karma, he have to work. But do that work, whatever work you do it for me. That is karma yoga. That is bhakti-yoga. Karma yoga and bhakti-yoga are one and the same. Whatever we give it to Krishna, working for Krishna, is bhakti-yoga. That is karma yoga. And Krishna, here he says, you do it for me. Why is he asking to do it for him? It is not that Krishna wants something because he is Atmaram. He is Bhagavan. He has nothing that he requires. But as individual living entities, Krishna wants that we surrender to him. That is the purpose of why Bhagavad-Gita was spoken. If we see the whole picture of Bhagavad-Gita, Mahabharata, in the beginning, Krishna says to Arjuna denies to fight, but Krishna says, just be an instrument. Savya Sachin, just be an instrument and just do this fight. Just work for me. Just do this for me. I have already killed all these men here. None of them are going back to their home. Everybody is over. So you just be an instrument, because Krishna wants to give this credit to his devotees. Every time, whenever the Lord appears, he wants to give the credit to his devotees. If you see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he also instructs Rupa Goswami that he has made a garden. He had made a big garden. He had plowed the garden, he had created the garden, he had sown the seeds, and he had created a beautiful tree. And now it is even producing fruits. Now, he instructs Rupa Goswami that I cannot myself distribute these fruits. So you please, everyone, help me in distributing the fruits. He is Bhagavan, he can do it himself. He wants to give the credit to us. Through that parampara, then the same Bhaktivinoda Thakur did, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, then Srila Prabhupada, all of them did this to give the credit to his devotees. Prabhupada gave all the credit to his devotees. There's a nice incident story during the Mahabharata war. Once the war was over, the Pandavas, they were discussing about the war. And not quarreling, something like that, but they had an argument saying that who was the reason for this war? Who was the person behind the victory of this war? So Arjuna was saying it's me, and Maharaj was saying no, because it was an argument, so the discussion was going on. Then Yudhishthira said, wait, why are we unnecessarily arguing? Who was the cause for this war? Who had been the cause for the victory? Let us ask Krishna. He was there, let me ask. So they all went to Krishna and asked Krishna, tell me who is the cause? Arjuna, Yudhishthira, Nakula, Sagadev, Bhim. Krishna said, well, I myself don't know because I was there with you. So how did I know? How can I see who was the cause? Because I was with you. Okay, let us go and ask son of Gadodkach. He was there. His name was Barbaric. It's a very interesting story. It's a long story. To cut it short, Barbaric actually was the son of Gadodkach. And he was invincible. He was so powerful, but unfortunately he was on the side of the Kauravas. Somehow or other, just like Salya was betrayed by this cunning Shakuni, same way somehow he was betrayed and he was taken to the side of the Kauravas. He had 3 powerful arrows, which he can kill anyone with those arrows. And he was so powerful, and now he's on the other side. So Krishna planned everything. So Krishna wanted him to also be convinced or to be taken. So the story is a long story. Somehow Krishna goes and he has to shoot there, but he goes in the Brahmana form and he gets those 3 arrows. Finally, Krishna asks for his head, and Barbaric readily gives his head. Just think, this is, he says, I'm ready to give. But then he says, why are you coming in disguise? I know who you are, because nobody can dare to come and ask these things. It's you, Bhagavan Krishna himself. Tell me, my soul, my life, everything is for you. I do not need this head. Take it. But I have one request. I want to witness this war. Through the whole war, I want to see how my father, my brothers, they are fighting. So Krishna said, no worry. I'll put your head on the tree. There was a big banyan tree, it was never destroyed. This tree will be never destroyed in this war. You will see there all what's happening on the tree. His head was there. So they all went to Barbaric because he was witnessing the war. He was not participating. He was very nicely, luxuriously sitting and watching the war. So they all asked Barbaric, please tell me who was behind this war. Barbaric said, who was behind this war? Nobody was behind. All I saw was Krishna. Everywhere I saw only Krishna. Here, there. Everywhere it was only Krishna moving and killing everyone. It was only he. So this was the incident that Krishna, this being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he can, just within a second, he can do everything. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could have flooded the world with Krishna Prem. Nityananda Prabhu could have done that. Panchatattva could have done that. They are Bhagavan. But they wanted to give the credit to us. So here, Shri Krishna, Bhagavan, Shri Krishna is saying that you work for me. So Rupa Goswami says, Anya Vilashita Shunya Jnana Karmadi Anavrita. Rupa Goswami explains, yes, our surrender should be there, but it will be devoid of jnana, karma, and all any expectation. It should be pure devotion to the Lord. But whatever we do, whatever we have, should be used for the utilization of Krishna. This is a very important point. Because earlier days, those days, till Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj explained what is sannyas, how to preach, people were having this Falgu Vairagya. Detachment means, no, this I won't use, this I won't use, this is matter, this is Maya. But Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj used everything in Krishna service. And same thing, Prabhupada, you could see what all Prabhupada used. People even criticize Prabhupada. But Prabhupada said, Anukulyana Krishnana Silana Bhakti Ruttama. This is what Rupa Goswami explains. Anukulyana Krishnana Silana. What is favorable for Krishna? Whatever favorable for Krishna consciousness, we should use that. Prabhupada used cars, Prabhupada used motor cars, all kinds of Rolls Royce, and microphones, everything, whatever matter, he used for Lord's service. That's what Rupa Goswami says. Anabilya Shita Shunya, Jnana Karma Dhyanavritam, Anukulyena Krishnana Silana Bhakti Rutta. So this should be the mood of devotional service. Now Krishna, in this particular verse, he says 4 things that you give it to me. A person should give, surrender to him. Mind, intelligence, faith and shelter. refuge. We know these four things, which is the most important thing that we should surrender, which is connected with all the other things, is the, what do you think? Is the mind. If mind is centered around Krishna, everything will follow. You see, through whole Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna emphasizes on mind. Everywhere, many places Krishna mentions. In 15th chapter in Purushottam Yoga, Krishna mentions especially Mano. He says, Mano Shastra Indriyani Prakriti Sthani Karshati. He says the living entity is suffering in this material world with the 6 senses, including the mind. And there are 5 senses. Krishna even includes the mind to the 5 senses and make a 6th sense with the mind. And Krishna emphasizes on the mind. And then even Arjuna says to Krishna, Chanchalam hi manaha Krishna. Mind is difficult to control in the turbulent wind. I can control the wind which is blowing, but difficult to control the mind. But what does Krishna answer when he says difficult to control the mind? We are discussing about the mind a bit here. We will today discuss because we all day to day we are dealing, we are fighting, we are trying to. Problem is with the mind. So whatever I can just speak something we can discuss will be helpful. So what does Krishna say when he says Chanchalam hi manaha Krishna? Krishna doesn't say, oh no Krishna, no Arjuna, that's not like that. He says Asamshaya Mahabhava. Mano Durnigraham Chalam. He says, yes, definitely. Asamshaya Mahabhava. Definitely it is very difficult to control. He doesn't say no. He said yes, but through abhyas and by vairagya, through practice and detachment, you can control the mind. And what is that practice, abhyas, that we can do is the holy name of Krishna, is the chanting of the devotional service. Devotional service is practicable in this Kali Yuga. In that particular verse, Prabhupada explains that in Kali Yuga we cannot do other tapasya. Because those days yogis, they have various ways to control the mind. They used to be in the summer, they used to lit fire around them. Then in the winter they used to be inside the cold water. But still they used to fall down from their yogic processes because of the mind. So the mind is such turbulent. Krishna says yes, but by abhyasena to count there. Abhyas and by vairagya, you can control it. Then there is again Krishna mentions about the mind, how to control the mind. There is one verse where Krishna repeats twice all over the Bhagavad-Gita. There is only one verse, word to word Krishna repeats. What is that verse? Yes. He repeats in 9th chapter and then in 18th chapter. Man manava bhakta mal jaya jaya namaskar ma maya vaishya satyante pratijani prayasim. So again they say man mano, man, fix your mind upon me. Why Krishna is saying about the mind, fix your mind, mind? Because mind is Krishna. Indriyana manasho asmi, Krishna says in the 10th chapter. In all the indriyas, I am the mind. That's why you see, because Krishna is the mind and we are mind. Actually, if you see, because we have this material body, mind is not actually the center of all the living entities, because we are in this material world. We are the subtle body because made of mind, intelligence and false ego. We are carrying this mind. Otherwise, we go to the higher planets, you go to Brahma Loka, there is no mind, there is no false ego. He is made of full of intelligence. And you go to Vaikuntha, there is no subtle body at all. It's pure spiritual body. So this mind we are carrying, as far as just like we have heart, we have to take care of the heart. We have to. So it's like that. We are carrying the mind with us. So you should be very careful of handling the mind. So when Krishna says here, mind, because Krishna is mind. That's why we should understand everyone is looking for Vrindavan, is looking for Krishna. Every living entity. He may be atheist, theist, lame, blind, European, Western, American, everyone is looking for Vrindavan. Because Vrindavan means Krishna. Because mind is Krishna, we are all looking for Krishna. But what happens is, it's just like a madman. He wants something, but he doesn't know where to go. He's just wandering, loitering in the streets. But when a person comes and tells them, this is what you are looking for, take this, then he will understand the purity and the value. So we are like mad people. We are all looking for Vrindavan. We are all looking for Krishna. That's why mind is Krishna. That's why when sometimes the mind, just like the bee, it takes shelter on something material. After some time, it gets frustrated because it understands this is not Vrindavan. Again, it flies away mind to other thing, hops up to another thing. Then it settles down. Then it's not settled down there. It cannot settle down there because it is not mind, it's not Krishna. So this is the reason. That's why the whole body is compared to a chariot. Srimad Bhagavatam also it's explained. The body is like a chariot, and the chariot is pulled by 5 horses. The 5 horses are the 5 senses. And the charioteer is the intelligence. And the reins is the mind. And the passenger is the soul. And there is sometimes the charioteer is considered to mind, and in some places the reins are considered to be mind. Now the passenger who is sitting in the chariot is the person who has to tell where he should go. He has to guide where I want to go. But when the passenger is intoxicated, he has no idea where to go. The horses, the mind, it just pulls everywhere. So we are lost. That's why we are wandering here and there. So we never will reach. So how do we understand? So how do we focus our mind? What do we have to do now? Yes, our mind is bewildered, Chanchala Mana, Krishna Arjuna says, and we are unable to control the mind. Every day we see that it is impossible. Now how do we do it? How will you fix our mind? So Ambarish Maharaj gives us the answer to this. Saiva Manaha Krishna Padara Vindeo Vachamsi Vaikunda Gunanu Varnane. He said, fix the mind at the lotus feet of Krishna. Now come on, we will say that it's better to be said than done. It's easy to say, fix your mind, do this, do that. But practically it is very difficult. Our mind doesn't stay. And we see practically it's going on. That's why even Krishna says, Ashamshaya Mahabhago. Mano Dunigraham Chalam. It is difficult, but by practice and by abhyasa. It is a science. We should understand very carefully. This is not something which, like material things, that we can say black and white. Mind is a very, very interesting object. We cannot be too strict with it. His Holiness Satchidananda Maharaj in his classes, in his workshops, very clearly explains how to manage with the mind. It's just like a pet dog, You see the dogs with the chain, they hold it with a long chain. Here I do not see much. In metros you see, and in Europe you see that. You have a long chain, and they go up to the level till the master can hold it. Then he pulls it back. But we should see that the chain is not too long, so that it goes, even the rope. So it happens sometimes we give our mind too much long, so it goes somewhere and we don't know where it is. So we should always have that, leave the mind. We cannot just restrict the mind too much that it bursts out. We should have restriction, yes. Leave the mind, but mind under our control. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is very nicely explained in the 5th canto, when the description of Rishabhadev's characteristics are mentioned. So Shukadeva Goswami explains that even Parikshit Maharaj asks Shukadeva Goswami this question about the mind, about why this activity of Rishabhadev. He asked that actually Rishabhadev, being Krishna's Krishna Shakti Avesh avatar, he had all the mystic powers. He could fly in the sky, he could disappear whenever he wants, he can get anything, all the Ashtasiddhis he had, but he never practiced them, he never used them, he never showed them, because he didn't want to. So Parikshit Maharaj had questions in this next chapter. He asked that, why is that Rishabhadev did not do it, did not exhibit his mystic powers. For a devotee, it is said that these powers do not disturb him. Even though it is not disturbing to be fear of them, it is under his control. And Shukadeva Goswami very nicely explains that he compares the mind to a hunter. Not mind to a hunter, but he explains that just like a clever hunter, a cunning hunter, after catching its animals, has no faith in the animals. He cocks him, but still he has a watch on it. So Shukadeva Goswami says the mind is like that. So mind, we should be like the hunter. The successful yogi, the successful devotee, advanced devotee, always keeps a watchful eye on the mind, never puts trust on it. We should never give our trust on the mind. And also, Shukadeva Goswami explains the mind to a unchaste wife. He says an unchaste wife has many paramouts. She can be cheated by many men. And what happens? That situation, even there are situations where the paramours can kill the husband. So who are the paramours of the mind? All the anarthas, lust, anger, greed, avarice, illusion, madness. All these are the paramours of the mind. And if you give the chance to the mind, the paramours can kill the yogi. These anarthas can kill the yogi. So this is the cleverness of the mind. So Shukadeva Goswami asks, which intelligent man will friendship the mind when you're knowing these things? So always keep the mind alert, watchful, look at it just like the hunter does it. In that situation, we are fine and safe. Now, when we discuss this chariot, the passenger, which the mind wanders, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains to Rupa Goswami that Brahmanda Brahme Konitya Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Laita Vija. Brahmanda Brahmite. In the Brahmanda, there are millions and millions of souls are wandering. In that, Bhagyavan Jiva, the soul which is Bhagya, who is fortunate, Krishna says, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanamanam Prapaditi. Who is fortunate gets the connection of Guru. How does he get the connection of Guru? Through sadhu. Through Krishna. Through Krishna's mercy, he finds the Guru. Now, can we control our mind with our own endeavor? Do you think that our endeavor can help us to control the mind? No. We have seen the histories. How Shabhari Rishi fell down, Vishwamitra Rishi fell down. When Lord Shiva was... We can pray to the Lord through the mercy of Guru. This is why very important Guru is. The process, Vishnu Chakravarti explains in Nadriya Kadambini that after Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, the Diksha process is very important because we did not complete the Diksha process, we stop with Bhajana Kriya. Then there is no process of Anartha Nivritti or further process unless we are connected with the Parampara. Even our chanting, focus chanting or chanting, if before initiation it is like empty bullets. There is potency, but it is like empty bullets. But once we are initiated, we are connected, the bullets becomes with magazine, with powder inside. It has real power. So by the mercy, when we attach ourselves with the Guru, Sadhus, Vaishnavas, then we beg for the mercy of the Lord, then by Krishna's mercy, only it can be controlled. Just like the cloud, sun creates the cloud and the sun only can remove the cloud. We cannot create the cloud. Sun creates the cloud, sun itself disappears the clouds. So the senses, everything was created by Krishna. Everything is Krishna. Unless we have the mercy of the Lord, we cannot control the senses. That's why the yogis fall down. Because they have their own control of the sense. They said, we are there, I am the control, I can control it, but they fall it. But we are devotees trying to aspire, trying to get the mercy of the Lord, should aspire to pray to the Lord, to the spiritual master, that kindly control him. It is difficult. It is very difficult. If it is difficult for Arjuna, what about you and me? If it is not possible for Arjuna, who is the archer, who is the greatest powerful personality of till nobody is equal to him even today. You cannot find. He could not control the mind. They saying Chanchala Mana Krishna. It's really difficult. It's difficult than the wind. So this is very important to understand. And as far as Guru is concerned, we sometimes worry, we may sometimes slip down in the process of Krishna consciousness. Sometimes we may make mistakes. But Guru will never ever let us go away from us. We should always hold onto the feet of the Guru. Once Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj was opening a temple in somewhere in North India. He had come for the opening of the temple. And when he went there, he was looking for one devotee. Unfortunately, the devotee was not there. So Maharaj asked, where is the devotee? So they said, oh Maharaj, he has gone out of the temple. He was associating with some Madaji and he chastised him. And it's really bad. And he has gone. Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj felt tears in his eyes. He said, I don't want to open this temple. I don't want to be here. Unless till evening you bring that devotee back here, I don't want here. I don't want these stones and bricks here. This temple. He said, I spent gallons and gallons of blood to make one this devotee. And you have sent him out? Bring him. So they don't know where to find him. So they went on searching for him, then finally found him in a watch shop. He was doing some repair, watch repair. And he came running, he bought them and he fell at Maharaja's feet and he started weeping. He was crying. He was saying, Maharaj, I was thinking of you. I was thinking of the devotees. I could not be away from them. But I got a mistake. And Maharaj, of course, he said, it's nothing to forget, but he, of course, accepted him back and he continued his service. Same thing in Srila Prabhupada's life. Prabhupada's pastimes, we read a lot of pastimes. How we dealt with the devotees. How we dealt with his disciples. The same thing we should also have. Once in the history of, we shouldn't be, it is said that we should not be drainage inspectors. Once a foreigner came to India, a long time back, during Gandhiji's time. She had so much affection, love for India. She had come to see India, the culture of India. But when she came, she found all the faults of India. He said, she wrote a very bad article about India. So Gandhiji told, she has not come to see the wealth of India. Actually, she came to inspect the drainage of India. So she is the drainage inspector, he said. That is so she don't worry about it. She has come to see the drainage. That's how she didn't see the wealth of India. So once Srila Prabhupada was in America at that time, there was one disciple of Prabhupada, sannyasi disciple. Somehow or other he left the temple and went out. Not only went out, he even started to criticize Srila Prabhupada, and all these things was going on. And he completely went out of ISKCON. But he used to come to the temple sometimes to speak to someone or something like that. So one day when he was there was decorating the temple, decoration was going on, everything. Then suddenly he asked me, what is going on? He said, Srila Prabhupada is come. So if a little uneasy, wants to about to leave the temple, car came through there. Prabhupada's car came. Prabhupada got out of the car. As soon as Prabhupada got out of the car, he did not look anywhere. He straightly glanced at him. He was there, somewhere far. And he had a big smile on his face. Like seeing a good old friend, he had a big smile. And people were there with the flowers, people were there with the garland to grace him. He just went straight to him. And he just stood in front of him. And Prabhupada looked at him into his eyes and he asked. And actually, I want to mention this. Before this, actually, he had served Prabhupada's personal cook for 5 years. He was with Prabhupada's personal servant for 5 years. He had cooked Prabhupada. So Prabhupada straight went to him and looked at him and he said, I'm going to stay here for some days. Will you cook for me? And that suddenly the devotees all around him, they start to say, Prabhupada, no Prabhupada, not him. This, that. Prabhupada again asked, will you cook for me? He said, yes, Srila Prabhupada, I will. And he took the service. This is Guru Kripa, this is Guru's mercy. So unless we have this mercy, and we have to at least imitate Guru in giving mercy, being compassionate to other living entities, other beings. Like we should not be these drainage, inspectors. Otherwise, if you have fault, because there's a natural tendency on us to find fault, because that is what we see. Like there's a nice story, nice incident that in a class 2, I think, class 1 or 2, the teacher took a white handkerchief and she put a black dot on the corner of the handkerchief and asked her, what do you see? Which color do you see here? Which color did the children say? Black. Everyone said black. I think even if we have a workshop, we will all say black. So this is our tendency, it's natural, but we should come out of it. It's possible. If it is difficult for Arjuna, not easy for me and you, then it is possible through Guru and Krishna's mercy. Praying for that mercy, we can able to understand and focus mind, intelligence, faith, and shelter on Krishna. then that is how Krishna completes Sarvadharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Give up everything. All Krishna speaks about Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. All the modes of nature, everything Krishna speaks, and finally says, give up all this nonsense, all this. Just think of me. If Krishna is in the center, if you put Krishna in the center, things will come and go. Life is not so easy. In the material world, it's a prison house. In the prison house, what do you expect? Krishna says that everybody thinks that he is the doer. What is it? Kartaham iti manyate. Kartaham. He says, he thinks that I am the doer, but actually it is carried out by the three modes of nature. It is not possible, because just like when you are inside the water, you open your mouth, you close your mouth, everything, water will enter inside. You are inside. So the modes of nature are like that. You give a little chance, it will open your mouth, the modes will enter. So we should transcend the modes of nature. It may not happen immediately, but by practice, by Krishna Abhyasena and Vairagya, we can attain this. By this, definitely, by praying, we should pray to the Lord, pray to the Vaishnavas, pray to Guru. Try to forgive, tolerate. It's a difficult journey. It's not easy for devotees in this path, because we are in this material Kali Yuga. By doing this, certainly we will get a drop of mercy. When drop of mercy, we can culminate into a well, into an ocean. Then we can go back to Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.